What is going on, everyone? Today, we're going to be talking about the newest strategy that only 1% of music teachers are taking advantage of to create a six-figure studio without using a website or a Facebook page. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in. If you're watching us live right now, go ahead and type live in the chat, just so I make sure to know who is here. But also, if you're watching the replay too, still love you. Go ahead and comment replay down below, just so I can see where everyone's watching from as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started right away. By the end of this training, though, I did want to teach you these three things here. So one, the biggest mistake that 99% of music teachers are still making in 2022. Also, the newest strategy, like I would go ahead and show you what that new strategy is that only 1% of music teachers are taking advantage of. But then also three, in this video, make sure to stick to the end because we're going to show you how you can also join that 1% and start using what we call our group trust method without using a Facebook page or website. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in. If you are pumped, go ahead and type pumped in the chat, just so we make sure when you comment on this video, this pushes it out to more teachers so that more teachers can be able to see this training video. So make sure it gets in the right hands, and we're going to go ahead and get started. But this has worked for others just like you. So I wanted to show you some kind of like some results of what other teachers have done using our group trust method that I'll teach you here today. So like here, Simberg's got a student, but I've also got teachers who are signing students for like 1,500 already, $1,500 for their program. But then also, I have an interview with Julia too, who has created a six-figure studio for her violin studio. So if you do want to check that out, just let me know in the comments below and I'll be able to send that over to you. But a little bit about me. This will be really quick because if you are new here, this will probably be very useful. If you've been here for a while, super glad that you're here. But if you don't know me, I'm Ben. What I do here is I coach other studio teachers on how to create six-figure studios so that they can have more growth and freedom in their lives. So just to kind of like show you the backstory, like for this coaching business, like I've grown to over 100K in 12 months. So everything that I teach you here is exactly what I'm being able to implement. So I want to be able to practice what I preach here so that I can show you all like what is working and what is not working as well. But also like I'm also a music teacher too. So I built my piano studio into a full-time income, like while I was in college as well. And here's a picture of me and a picture of me, my mentor. So, so we're gonna go ahead and dive in as always. But I want to ask you this first, and let me know in the comments if you've experienced any of this too. But these are very real feelings that I want to be able to help teachers who are feeling this way. So one, like if you've ever felt anxious, like at the end of the month, opening your bank account and like looking at your balance, or have you ever like felt frustrated about wondering how long it's going to be until your next student slides into your inbox or your next phone call rings or your next, you get a next email. But maybe you're also thinking like, I'm a great teacher, right? But why can't I still pay rent? Why can't I still be able to live comfortably? Like, I feel like this is a very real problem that a lot of teachers have that I don't really like. And it's part of the big vision of why I have this group here, why I started the coaching business, but then also why I have this training video and why I want you to watch it. It's I want you to be able to solve not just the problems that are happening in your business, but the problems that are happening in your life possibly. And I want you to be able to teach music as your full-time income, create six-figure studios so that you can live comfortably. You don't have to feel this way anymore. So again, let me know if you felt any of this in the comments below. I'd love to hear like which one is resonating with you, just so we can all be on the same page here. But let me talk about the key to getting high paying students here. And this is a big problem. I guess this is something that a lot of teachers we need to have in our marketing, because a lot of times we can feel very salesy, you can feel kind of pushy, and I wouldn't want that for you. But what we need to do, and in order to get high paying students so that you can create that six-figure studio, you need your students and parents to trust you enough to see why you're the right fit for them. And that's the key. Go ahead and write down trust down below in the comments, just so we make sure that we're on the same page here, that trust is the key to being able to get high paying students. So if we understand that, go ahead and type trust below, because we're going to learn how do we actually build that trust? How do we build that trust so that we can get high paying students? And here's the solution, right? Is one, we need a strategy that builds trust with students before they even speak to you. So that's the key. We can't start that student to teacher relationship in the lessons, we have to start it before they even sign up. And that's the key here. But also, in order to do that, we need number two, which is a repeatable process to consistently book more calls on your calendar without feeling salesy pitching your lessons, right? And all of that too. Like there's keywords in here, a repeatable process, right? I want there to be consistency with the amount of calls that you are booking in with your studio, but also I don't want you to feel salesy pitching your lessons or anything like that as well. So let me know if those make sense to you. Go ahead and type down yes below if that all makes sense. One, we need a strategy that builds trust, but also in order to have a strategy, we need that repeatable process, right? Also, let me know down below. I would love to know, like, what are you like? What are you currently doing to be able to get students right now, right? Whether it is like posting on Facebook, maybe it's posting on Instagram, maybe most of your strategy has been referrals. I'd love to know. It doesn't matter what it is right now because we'll be learning that. We'll be learning the new strategy in a little bit, but I want to know what you are currently doing right now, just so we can see, who might be doing the same thing. But let's take a look at the old way. This is kind of like the old way that I've seen a lot of teachers do that we need to be able to change up. And whether you do have an email list or not, like that's just look at the email list if it's relevant to you. But I want to show you like the old way here. This is what I see a lot. And it goes from like, teachers will put out a post there on like Facebook, which goes to like their website form, right? And then from there, the student has to go in, fill out the form, and then wait for a call from you. And then from there, you call the student, maybe have a consultation, and then you close them. And the close when you sign up the student, right? That's kind of like the old way. And then this is what I see a lot too, the social media way, which is good, but might not be effective as the last way. And this is what I see a lot too. So we have people posting on their profile, which goes to Messenger, which goes to a call, and then which goes to a close, which is great. It's great if you don't have like a super big audience yet and you're starting to build it up, but there's a more effective way that's going to help you get those students and build the trust a lot faster and easier than before. And I wanted to show you the group way here and what using a Facebook group can look like in your studio, because as far as I know, like what we're teaching here, like using that Facebook group is only taught in this, is like using a Facebook group, especially for music teachers, it's only taught in this group, right? And I want you to be able to know, how do we use a Facebook group to be able to get more students in your music studio specifically? So this is what it looks like. So we have a Facebook group. We obviously post in the Facebook group too, but then we also have like the same sales process where we go from Messenger to the call to the close. But the key here is like what's different is like the profile versus the Facebook group. And that is the key that I see with being able to build more trust. It's because when people join your Facebook group, they're going to be seeing you as that face there, and they're joining there for a reason. And we'll talk about why groups are so powerful in a little bit, but this is what the kind of like the overview looks like of the group way. So go ahead and type group if that makes sense. If we see the difference between like the old way, like and the way that teachers use social media a lot, and then also the group way, the way that we use social media as well. And also Facebook groups are a great way to build email lists as well. So go ahead, again, type group down below if that all makes sense, because we're going to talk about why are Facebook groups so powerful. And I want you to write these down because this is going to be real important when you are when you are posting things on social media, when you are trying to get students, because like this is going to help you understand why we need to start using this starting today. And I'm going to show you how to install it starting today as well. So make sure to write this down. One, Facebook groups are so powerful because one, they supercharge your trust and authority. They're also like a community with your ideal students, right? So have your students and parents come to you, right? Instead of you trying to always go to them. There's a two-way relationship here. You also get the freedom of like those non-promotional rules, right? Like who's ever gone to a Facebook group before? Let me know in the chat. Who's ever gone to a Facebook group before and they say like no promoting? And it's like impossible to post there, right? So when you have your own Facebook group, nobody is there telling you what to do or what not to do. Like you have that control. The nurture though is much more powerful because your content is more personal and you can connect with your prospects one-on-one. So now like they're kind of like in your world when they join you. So it's much more powerful that way. It's much more personal because it's in an intimate community. You also get more touch points that lead to greater and higher conversion rates and a better buying experience from your students as well. So instead of you having to cold message all of these, all of these students, and then they're telling you not to message them, like when they're coming into your group, they want you to message them. And you're going to have so many touch points where you're contacting them through Messenger, you're getting them onto a call with you. They're seeing your content that they feel like they know you already before they even talk to you. It's kind of like vloggers and YouTubers, right? Like who's ever seen like who's ever gotten like whoever feels like they're like really close to those vloggers or feel like you're like inside of their life. Like that's the same effect that we do here. When they jump into your community, they're almost jumping into your world. So they start to get to know you really, really well. Like, let me know if that makes sense down below in the chat. Hopefully I'm not going like crazy or anything. But then the last thing here is that a group is like an email list. It's an asset. So the bigger it gets, the more engaged it gets, the more your income and your impact will increase as well. So for me, I've run this Facebook group for about like a couple years now, and we have like over 3,500 members in this group, and it's constantly being built. And our group is like the fastest growing like music group, like I think on Facebook so far, um, or at least like music teaching and business group. So being able to grow the group, if you understand that it's an asset, and growing the group allows you to be able to make more impact, then this is going to work well for you. So again, let me know if you have any questions with any of these two. But this is why Facebook groups are so powerful, and this is what I believe. So if you believe in the same things as well, like go ahead and let me know down below in the chat, because we're going to jump right into the 3 systems you need using the group trust method. So I'm going to show you our method here is called the group trust method. So it's a way to use Facebook groups, again, to build trust with your audience really, really quickly. I want you to write these down. So make sure you have pen and paper, notes, something to type down right now so that you can have this, because this is going to be very practical. And again, I'm going to give you a resource at the end that's going to help you be able to build all this out right away. So if you are ready, go ahead and type ready in the chat, so that we can go ahead and get started. The 3 systems you need is you need to be able to know how to generate leads. You need to be able to know how to nurture leads, and you also need to know how to convert leads as well. And this applies to literally every single system, like any system that you have, whether you're using Instagram, whether you're using Facebook, whether you're using like, TikTok or something like that, right? You need all 3 of these systems, but I'm going to show you how the group trust method uses all of these 3 systems in the most effective way. All right, so first we're going to start off with generating leads. So what does this look like with the group trust method? We're going to show you exactly what it looks like right now. Again, make sure to take notes on this, because like we're gonna blow by this. There's so much to go over. So one is generating leads. So I grow the group using 2 organic strategies here. And again, I'm pulling back the curtains. You're going to see exactly what I do here to be able to grow the group, and how I've grown the group to over 3,500 members in the past 2 years. So the first one here is our 2-step system. So what you want to do is, when you have the Facebook group, in order to generate leads, I think of leads as group members. And the more group members you have, the more leads you have as well. So it's a really, really simple system. It's just adding friends from other groups and then just inviting them into your own group, right? And what we're really doing here is we're not like intruding. Like I think as long as we're not like being rude, or making sure that we are being friendly in other groups as well. Like sending a friend request is really just like extending our hand out. And what other people are doing is, if they want to accept it, cool. And if they don't want to accept it, that's totally cool as well. But all we're just doing is giving them the opportunity to be able to connect. So that's why I love sending out friend requests and being able to connect with other people from other groups. But that allows them to be able to share and like join my community as well, and be able to experience things that we have here. So it's really simple. All you really do, add friends from other groups that you can be able to find that have your ideal students in there, and just invite them into your group. Just send in an invite. That's it. But also, Not only that, but promoting either an event or an exclusive freebie that's happening into your group as well. So here's a very practical example. Some of you have maybe saw this, but I put this on my personal profile. All I just said is, hey, I did an interview yesterday with our client, Michael, who's been able to earn more money and time using our student acquisition system without teaching 40 plus students. Like, let me know if you want a free copy of the replay. All I did, hey, who wants a free copy? Comment below. Got 42 comments on that post alone. But what allows me to do is whoever's in the group, gets the replay, but whoever's not in the group yet, right? They can still be able to access the replay. All they have to do is just join the group there. But by promoting an exclusive freebie or an event, it gives the group more value. And there's groups that it gives a reason, like, why should I even join the group? Oh, it's to get these, this gets these like valuable resources that I'm not able to get anywhere else. Right. And that's something important, that when you have your group, you want to be able to create value. You want to create like an actual community, a reason why people should join. So if that makes sense, go ahead and write down, like, go ahead and make sure to have these in your notes again. The last thing here is I also grow the group using paid methods too, right? So if you're thinking, what if I want to be able to use ads? You can, and it's really, really simple, right? First, all you need is a simple ad budget. So I usually like to start off with $10 a day, right? The results there are probably going to be, you're going to have to be really patient with the results there, but it gives you an opportunity to be able to start using ads on a simple budget, be able to grow your group automatically. So mine, my, I guess, funnel is really simple as well. So all I do is I have the ad copy, and then it goes to a Facebook lead form. Go ahead and look that up if you don't know what a lead form is. But then the lead form just goes directly to the group as well, right? If you have any more questions around like what the Facebook ad looks like or how to be able to use it, again, just let me know in the chat below, because I can answer a ton of questions on that. But here's, like, again, a practical example of what my current ad looks like. So it's just the ad copy, and then people click the button, it sends them to a form, and then after they submit the form, it sends them directly into the group. So nothing complicated. I don't use like landing pages anymore. Like, just be using the lead form. It's just really effective and really quick for getting people into the group. So again, let me know if that makes sense. Go ahead and type in, what should we type in? Type in generating leads, if that makes sense. All these processes make sense on how we're actually generating leads to grow the group. Because we're going to jump into nurturing leads here. So the second system, nurturing leads. Again, if you have any questions, type in the chat, but we need all of these things here. These are all of my beliefs that I have on nurturing leads. It's one, you need to have a consistent content schedule, right? A lot of teachers want to get a social media presence, but they just struggle with consistency, right? It's literally like our students, right? Think about your own students, on them needing to practice. Like, in order for you to actually get better at marketing, you got to be able to practice consistently as well. And being able to post content, whether it is perfect or not, it needs to be consistent. All right. Go ahead and type consistent if you are going to be consistent with your content schedule as well, because that is one of the biggest differences. This is where I see like successful music teachers and unsuccessful ones. It's the consistency in their content. But when we are posting, I like to focus on quality over quantity. So making sure that you are delivering high value content, like content that people actually care about and that people will actually learn from when they consume it. So that's why, like, with these trainings, I want this to be extremely valuable and extremely practical, so that you know exactly what to be able to do and start getting students as soon as possible as well. It's like, for me, I only post like 2 to 3 times a week in this group, and that's all I really need to do, because I want, first off, I don't want to overwhelm anyone, but I also want this to be like, also want everyone to be able to consume like the resources that we have here, so that you can start using it again as soon as possible. But that also helps me just not feel overwhelmed with like posting content all the time. Right? I have a life. The last thing here is that I want to be able to mix my content between like engagement content, like authority content, action posts as well. So knowing what those content, like what that content is going to be, I have examples here and what that looks like. Also, if you do have any questions on content, I won't like go too deep into this. I feel like I can create a whole nother training. Just let me know. Let me know if you want me to create like a training on specifically content. I can show you examples of what I've done to help you be able to create content a lot quicker. Again, just let me know and I can make that happen. But for example, when we talk about like engagement content to create engagement with people, like asking simple questions like this right here, authority content to kind of flex your authority, but also show people like like what is the right path, or like what are your beliefs as the leader of this group. And that's kind of like a post like this as well. You've probably seen them. um, but also action posts that have a call to action. These are really going to help you generate leads as much as possible inside your group. So there are groups like, so action posts, I think of it like freebies and your resources you're giving out, or maybe you have a new offer that you want to be able to tell people about, like getting people to comment on it, like this post here, where I gave out like our Six Figure Studio Vault. Now I think it has over 62 comments right now at the moment. But that got a lot of engagement, but a lot of people that I can be able to talk to and be able to see if I can help. So again, let me know if that makes sense. We're going to go into converting leads in a little bit, but go ahead and write down nurturing leads if that all makes sense, and understand why we have to nurture our leads. Because the last part here is converting leads. And this is what generates the momentum. This is what generates the calls. Because the main goal of like, in order to actually get students, we have to book calls. And I feel like a lot of us, we need to get out of this mindset of like just waiting for students to come to us. We can't wait for students. And I feel like a lot of teachers who are really successful, like we kind of get away from like, we kind of get away with like referrals and word of mouth, which is really great. But if you really want to create a six-figure studio and keep it sustainable and keep it consistent, we have to be able to be proactive with our marketing as well. So think of it in your head, you cannot get a student unless you book a call with them. So everything that we're doing here is to answer the question of how do we book a call with a student as fast as possible and as easy as possible, right? Without sounding salesy, without sounding pushy. The main goal, booking calls. Go ahead and type in the chat, booking calls. It's so important right here. So how do we book calls? Exactly. One is when you have your group, you want to message everyone that joins your group, literally everyone, right? Think of yourself as a tour guide on like a college campus, like those, those I was about to say those annoying ones, but that's subjective. The people, we'll call it the friendly college tour guides that always say hi to everyone. You kind of want to be the same thing as well. So you want to say hi to everyone that joins your group, welcome them. They're literally joining your community for a reason. Like just by welcoming them, they're going to feel really grateful for joining your community. So you want to message new members, any members that you've had a call with in the past, also members that you haven't had calls with. And the B and C right here, points B and C is we're talking directly with like following up. So making sure that you always follow up with people you've had conversations with. Like you can't just rely on getting on a call with someone and that being the only time you interact with them. Like you have to be following up with them at all times. And when you have a good system for that, it becomes a lot easier. Like that's why like my group is like, again, 3,500 members as of filming this training right here. Like it's not super hard to try to reach out to everyone in the group because I have the right systems in place as well. And in order to have a system, what you need is that you need a script, right? You need a script in place for asking the right questions so that like you can be able to save time and energy when you are messaging your group members, right? So making sure you have like a list of questions in place, you know what questions you're going to ask in order to almost like diagnose people's problems. So for example, think about the calls that you have, the calls, and then think about the questions that you ask in there. Like, you know, what are your goals for even learning an instrument? Like, what are your goals when it comes to like performing, or what are your goals when it comes to like, you know, your music career? Like, what are your biggest problems stopping you from even getting to that goal? Questions like that are going to help dig out a problem so that you can get people onto a call with you, right? But that is how we convert leads. We need to make sure we message and be proactive with our marketing. So go ahead and type in converting leads if that makes sense, because we're going to jump in to the last part here. So you can have all the tools in place, right? We can have all three of these systems, but if you don't have these three things, like you're not going to be able to get to the goals like as fast as possible, right? And you need these three things: action, consistency, and optimization. Again, write these three down, three things down, like write them in the comments and like literally put it out there for everyone to see if you want to have these beliefs too. Action, consistency, optimization. One, action, you need to actually do it, right? Like the worst thing that you can do here is watch this video and not do anything, because then you've wasted literally like, I don't know how long this train is going to be, like, but like half an hour. You've literally wasted half an hour of your life, not just like watching me. And I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to be watching me. I want you to be actually helping your studio out. So taking action, go and do the action item that I tell you to do after this. Make time to do it, but also consistency too. You can't just do it once and get it over with. Like think about your own students and what you tell them to do. Practice what you preach with like telling your students to practice. So practice consistency yourself and actually do it consistently. Make a schedule, make it like your priority to be able to grow your group and nurture your group and convert your group every single day. But the last thing here is optimization. And this is a huge part of what I believe in, is that like you can do the action items and you can do it consistently, but if you don't actually get the feedback and like actually learn from what you're doing, learning from the mistakes that you are making, then you're just like throwing spaghetti at the wall. You're just shooting in the dark and you're never going to know like what you need to improve on unless you just kind of like go at it with brute force. Right? And think about what you do with your own students, how you give them feedback, how you help them learn from their mistakes. This is what I believe in too. So in order to actually get better, you need the optimization part. And again, if you are looking for the optimization, if you are looking for more of that support, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But that is huge because it's like how our best students take the time to practice and do it every day. All right. Think about, again, how you literally do that with your students. Practice what you preach with your own marketing as well. All right. So here's a little gift from you. So appreciate you for sticking to the end because I'm going to walk you through like a little gift that I have for you. So if you want this, go ahead and type in checklist below, and I will personally send this out to everyone that types checklists down below so that you can have this. This isn't going to be posted like on the live stream, but you're going to have to comment in order to be able to get this, because I want to make sure the people who are actually serious gets their hands on this as well. So as you go through this, you'll get a copy of this. You can be able to copy to Google Drive here. You can be able to click this to create your own Facebook group. But then also you can always click this link here to go directly to my group and see all the examples that I have. So I won't go into this too much because it's pretty self-explanatory. It's literally just a checklist on being able to create your group. So one, name your group. So what is the name of your group? I like to put like what the group is about and also who it's for as well. Edit your group settings. Here are some important settings. It's literally just 2 settings, but it's your choice for the other settings as well. You'll also want to edit your description as well. So you can look at my description and see what it's about, but pretty much you want to put just put a little blurb in there about who this group is for, what the group is about, and how to be able to join as well. You'll also want membership questions too. So if you join my group, you might or might not have seen the membership questions, but these are to help make sure to do 3 things. Question number 1, I like to use this to qualify people. I want to make sure I'm getting the right people and the right teachers in my group. You want to make sure that you're getting the right students in your group too, so that you're not just getting like spammers in there or people who are irrelevant. Also, you can also use question 2 to capture people's emails too. Get people's emails so that you can be able to build your email list and be able to do some email marketing as well. And then also number 3 is invite them into a conversation. So if you look at my question number 3 here, all I pretty much do is, hey, if you want to see how you can be able to get some help, go ahead and type yes or no below. And whoever says yes is going to be like a hot lead that joins your group as well. And you can be able to personally reach out to them and book a phone call. But those are the membership questions. You'll also be able to need to choose your group cover photo. You can easily create one on canva.com, or you just put a random picture up there of your studio. That's not too concerning here, but you'll also want a welcome post too. And the welcome post is going to allow you to be able to tag new members in the comment section of the welcome post. So again, you could take a look at what I do for my welcome post and how I use it. All I pretty much do is I have these 6 points here, and I also tagged every single new group member underneath the welcome post so that like they can see the welcome post. So instead of having to create like a welcome post every single time like a group member comes in and suddenly my group is spammed with like a bunch of welcome posts, like I just have just one main welcome post and comment and tag new members in there every single time I get every single time it grows. And then the last thing here is to automate your group acceptance process, because the problem here is that when we look at these membership questions, after you accept someone in, you cannot go back and look at their answers anymore. So how do we actually get their emails? How do we actually see what the answers they put in here after they've joined? Well, the answer is here. So there's a software called GroupKit that I use, which automatically like captures their info and like saves it so that I can be able to like use it later, or I can be able to grow my email list really, really quickly. But I won't talk about GroupKit too much, but if you want to be able to try GroupKit, again, get the checklist, and there will be a link in here for like a referral link to get you like 14-day free trial, just so you could be able to try it out as well. And there'll also be like videos on like what GroupKit is or how to use it, like in that link. So I won't need to explain that too much. So we've gotten to the end. So again, if you want the checklist, go ahead and type checklist down below. I want to make sure everyone is able to get their hands on it. Again, if you aren't typing checklist, then that means you're not taking action. And if you're not taking action, you're not going to be able to have like, have that consistency optimization, or be able to like, be able to implement this as well. But if you want to be able to implement the group trust method and get more support so that you can create that six-figure studio, again, I want to offer you an opportunity to be able to get that help. So below or in the description, I'm going to put in a link to my calendar. So what I want you to do, if you are looking for more support, if you are looking to implement this, go ahead, schedule a free 15-minute call with me, again, with the link. That's going to allow you to just get the calendar. All you need to do is just choose a time that works best for you. And then what that'll allow you to do though, is when you do book in when you do book in the calendar, it'll take you to another page with some really great resources there. So if you want those great resources like those great resources, you're going to have to like book in a call. It'll take you to that next page, but all you have to do is just sit tight, and we'll be able to hop on a Zoom call at your scheduled time. But again, hopefully you have enjoyed this live stream. My goal for it is to make it as valuable and practical as possible so that you can start to implement that. But again, I want you to have as much as possible. So if you have enjoyed this live stream, just let me know down below and let me know what else that you would want as well. But other than that, I have enjoyed teaching you this. Again, this is the group trust method. I want everyone to be implementing this because like, I believe this is the best way to be able to create the six-figure studio and be able to start getting students as well. But again, thank you all for being here, and I will see you all on the next live stream. Have a great day, everyone.